Hey guys, here playing Palana Food, or maybe that's not how you pronounce it. Post in the comments if you've got the right pronunciation for the little accents on the A. Don't really know how to say it, so I'm probably butchering it. In any event, pretty cool ID, pretty generic. You get money. What corp doesn't need money, right? Lends itself to playing pretty aggressively, pretty fast. Not giving the runner much time to set up, because normally you spend clicks to make money, and that delays your scoring. Every time you play a card that's not scoring, it's just making money. It's bringing the your win later in time. So if you can just let your ability get passively money, you can go zoom, and they have to kind of respect the Kentucky ice. Even though a lot of it doesn't hurt them, some of it that hurts them really hurts them, like Kamaidu, Cortex Lock. It's a tough call, right? Because if you can put some random thing and then they respect it and don't run. Or they can run and lose some pretty good cards. Like this Astrolabe is probably quite good for this game. Personal Workshop, okay. It's pretty decent if we say like an RDI or a Lady or any kind of breaker go on this workshop. Clone shit. Gotcha. So this turn she has drawn one. There we go. So she's going to get value off it this turn, which is great. Nice to see that. Yeah, I'll put this out. So it does give her a card, but we get $1 off of that because of our ability. So it's kind of interesting the way that this pans out. You're helping both players, but you get to do it on your own terms and figure out like, okay, I really want to get $1 here, so I will make a remote. So we'll see if there's another $1 install off of the Hayley trigger. No, there's not. That's okay. Oh yeah, never mind. I missed in the log. There's 2 clone ships now. Cool. Double clone ship. Like worst case, you make these into caches and you sell them with Aesop later on. So you're never sad to have a clone ship as Shaver. Uh-oh, kind of wanted that one. But we'll get to bring our pad online. And there's an ice, that's good. Better cover the R&D because there could be some multi-access coming at some stage. I don't know if that's the right ice for it or not. Yeah, we'll give them another card. We get $1 off of that. So with the tempo in this build, we're only playing 50 knights. It's a bit low, but if you have extra draw from the Agroplex or from Jackson, you can find your ice. In a lot of cases, I'd rather be on the low side of ice than the high side. The thing with the ice is that a lot of your ice is only good at part of the game, so you end up with dead draws in your deck. Whereas if you're low on ice, often you're going to just take whatever ice you draw and slam it down and say, okay, there's something there now. Shapers are just really good at breaking ice. Anarchs are good at just destroying ice, so I feel like ice is not as good as it used to be. This deck is really more relying on the Caprice interaction with Nisei Mark II. So Hayley's looking for the pawn shop, which would kick that into high gear. So maybe a case where it's good to not have the Agroplex, because when they're hunting for a certain card, kind of don't want to let them just have it. So the call for us is, do we make this remote the main remote, or do we try to start a second one? I think with 15 ice, you kind of have to make this one the main remote and just overwrite the temple once you've gotten enough value out of it. So we'll go along those lines. We will put this in server 1. Server 1. So a pretty good setup here. We'll be able to use the fast track, which she's seen, to get a Nisei next turn and slam it down if we don't just draw one. There is the Aesops. Okay. Nice double install, getting the peddler out. So she's actually in pretty good shape now. The money problem is taken care of. Like, she's got the cash to sell, the mem chip to sell, and then she can clone chip cash again if she wants to sell it again. We're really going a bit slow this game. Haven't gotten the early agenda that would have been this one we would have liked to keep, but oh well. So sending back 2 hedges is kind of whatever. I think we have enough money for the time being. I'd rather have this out, and on the off chance there's like an indexing, you'd want this on the table, or just for whatever. She might have an imp or something on the peddler. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Send that to the heap, and you can do -$3. It is tricky to figure out how this stuff works. Like, I think you probably need to peddler before access, but that's fine. Yeah, so the Retreat Peddler is like a paid ability, and you can use abilities before you access. Once you've actually looked at the card, there's no more paid abilities during that run. So if you want to use this, you can do it before you access, and you got to kind of guess, like, I might need these Ghost Runner credits, etc. Yeah, the interface is difficult sometimes. Not going to sweat the small stuff. We're just kind of seeing if this deck, you know, as a whole, is doing things that are promising. So Caprice goes down. Womp womp, would be nice to have that backup one. But at least we're draining the Ghost Runner. So we get our pad dollar. We're going to flip our Caprice. And in it goes. So in the end, our Mama Temple, we paid 1, we got 2 off the pad, we got 2 off the Caprice, so that's not bad. It's basically a beanstalk in that scenario. Would have liked to res some of the ice, but it kind of has a discouraging effect on the runner where they don't want to run ice and let you flip it anyway. So there's some intangible value there. So regardless, like looking against 3 credits, we're in good shape to score this agenda with Caprice. Hayley tends to have not much money early on, and that creates this opportunity where even if they can break the ice cheaply, there's still like the side game bit in behind that. So now that we've gotten a pad running and we've got our ability, we're probably set for money for the rest of the game, which is a nice feeling to have because we can just draw stuff and we can slam agendas and give as little time as possible for the runner to set up. The thing is, if you let the runner set up for indefinite amounts of time, they will just beat you because the efficiency that they can generate in the late game is just too much. Whether that's wild side drawing a bajillion cards or in this case the Hayley stealth with these cloaks letting him break for free. It's a huge problem late game. So the only weapon to that is speed and or some tricky combos like CI is able to do. So what she wants to do here is pawn the astrolabe. Let this come in, play a second astrolabe. So we can just do this manually. We'll do pawn this astrolabe now, make the install happen. And then add the extra click back on.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna get that fixed on the code side because this shouldn't. I've seen a lot of people do this, like pawn their pawn shop, because like Octagon, you just double click on everything, right, to make it happen. So easy to double click Aesop and it sells itself, which is just hilariously not what should happen because it does say trash another of your installed cards. Yeah, the lag's another thing on top of that. It's like, did it do anything? Did it work? You click it and then no response, so click it again. I'll report that afterwards. Should be a pretty quick fix on the code side. So please hold while we fix up the game state. So like looking into our next couple turns, we have this rainbow here for cutlery. We're not going to see cutlery this game, so this is probably just a bad draw in this matchup. So to some extent, you're figuring out like what matchup do I need to tech for. I mean, it's nice that it can keep alive your Ichi, keep your assassin alive. But against shape, you'd rather have like almost anything else. Because it's like $1 for lady to go through, right? So not super hot about that. Okay, I think we're all good now. So what's these clone chips gonna find? Can bring back the cloak, that's not bad. Bring back the cash, not bad either. So we'll wait and see what the tactic is. There's a lot of points still in the R&D. But if we can just draw and slam in the remote, this remote's in pretty good shape to keep her out. So there's kind of two basic strategies you can play. You can either go for the R&D lock, get a lot of accesses, try to win that way. And that includes poking the HQ to see if there's any agendas in there. The other plan being to try to break this remote down by getting rid of the Caprice. Because if there's no Caprice, I can't really score that well. Usually the Nisa token by itself won't do it because the ice is not taxing enough against the stealth rig to keep them out twice. Rainbow dies. Womp womp. Give her a card, we get a buck. Yeah, let's put it out there. I think I actually want this because we know what's in our R&D. And I haven't tried resin this very often because it costs more than I want to spend usually, but right now our money is pretty good. So let's see what happens. This is actually fine against, well, I guess it's the same as like Crick. It'd be 1 stealth and 1 real credit against Refractor, which is usually what's going to happen. Yeah, just gonna go away to the imp. That's fine. So if you do the math in this, like we paid a click and we made $1, and she got a card, but she lost a click. So it's a little bit of a wash, but the imp token is now gone. At least temporarily, so our hand is not going to get pillaged this turn. Unless a scavenge appears. And like the best case would have been she didn't check it, we would have got to res an ice at a discount, etc, etc. This Ichi's pretty good as well. I'm going to try to just... man. I don't know if I even want that agenda. No, it's probably fine. I think you get a score whatever you draw. If we can get this going on with the, combine with this, seems okay. So next time we can play this out, and start on this. Now this is not going to be that great, the way that the imps have been pounding us, but I think it will get better. It's another ice that you want to put the rainbow in front to protect your expensive stuff. If I can zoom in here, actually, we can do that. Yeah, there we go. See a little better. Because we're not going to make many remotes, so we don't have to worry about going out the side. Now, is this even good for us right now? Yeah. Or is it better for the runner? I think it's maybe better for the runner. I don't know, you can also just run the runner out of cards eventually. quite like this ice setup. She may just not come in here. Like, when it was 2 ice and the Caprice, it's a little more appealing to run against. When now there's 3 and there's a second upgrade, she may be thinking just like, okay, we're gonna run R&D. And that's where this Agroplex can kind of bite you, because it makes the cards fresh every turn against R&D interface, which sometimes you don't want. Looks like all the SMCs are on the bottom. I found a lot of other stuff. This Inti won't do much. Okay, there's the RDI coming out. So the good news is she has a lot of money for her. So when all that money starts to turn into accesses, we'll be in a bit of a pickle. Intis are indeed for selling. So now we're on 4 points, but our window of the runner not being ready is starting to close. Probably gonna get into a slugging match pretty soon over R&D. With our 2 pads surviving, we've got quite a bit of cash to fund that with. Temple would have been great now if we could res these with the temple and this pad, so it's definitely right for the runner to have trashed the second one. The first one, I don't know. The first temple we put behind the enable, we had to trash it in the end, but I think that we had some chance of baiting a face check into that ice, which would have benefited us quite a bit. And we did get enough value to justify it. If it played out an open remote, it would have just died, I think, right away. So now just tons and tons of money. Might be one of those draw, 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 find breakers please scenarios. Like once the first SMC comes out, I guess there's a lady in the trash, so that's good too. Gotta have access to lady. Get the imp again if needed. I would much rather be on 5 or 6 points here at this stage of the game. But our remote's strong and our R&D is reasonable. Okay, that's fair. Gonna come terminate our pad. Nope, maybe not. $23 creds. Oh, there must be a dagger in hand or something. So I think she'd run the server without having a way through sentries. I think a better idea would have been server A, server B, server C. Maybe I'll suggest that. Because really, having more than one number here is just like a horrible idea for usability. So she can click this, or she can do the Hayley thing, where she chips out the lady and also puts cloak in or an SMC. Let us see some Hayley shenanigans. So I think there's no value to boost this trace. Like, she's got more money than us for the rest of the game. Aesop's gonna fire forever. So just charge her $1. So where's the refractor? Not showing yet. Okay. Chip for lady. Hayley can do a thing. I don't know if it'll let her play during the run. We'll see what happens. Worst case, we'll have to jack out and restart the run, which is fine. But maybe it will let her add a click to her tracker and then just play the card from hand. Yeah, so this must be the refractor, I would say. SMC, sure. So we let her come through here. So she already broke these two. Last ice, what do I want to do with this baddie? Because we can make a program trash on the lady, but that's not super exciting at this point. I think we just force the breaker out. Let her break, and we'll play Psy with Caprice here. Going a bit low on money, but I think with the 2 pads alive, we'll be fine. All right, so let us bid. Zero each, huh? Okay, let's see if we can keep our server alive with this baddie. Multiple Psy games. So I gotta choose if we want to do End the Run or Trash Lady. Trash Lady, not that exciting, I think, in the end. I think we're gonna just fire the ETR here. Because this keeps our Caprice alive, which we need to score. And yeah, I'm okay with this. If we trash the lady, just clone ship back, it's kind of whatever. Especially with already having a Caprice in the bin and a Jackson in the bin. We don't know when we'll see another Caprice. It could be a while. Give a card. She's got pretty much all her stuff now. Is 3 ice gonna kind of cut it on this server? It's gonna be, say she runs and clicks through 1 lady. Our remote's not in great shape because we can really... This is a tough call here. If we play this to the remote of 4th ice, it's expensive. We kind of need it, I think. Bleh. Kind of uncertain about that. This might be too much in the server, but I do want this Caprice alive. I don't want her to just be able to run and return and make side games to kill this Caprice. Because once our Caprice is gone, we have like nothing. This was expensive, but I'm counting on the Palana ability and the 2 pads to keep us in the money. But if we overcommit to our remote, then the R&D becomes weak, right? The plan is going to have to be to just draw a bunch and try to get past the RDIs, which is currently only 1, but she's going to have more coming out pretty quickly because there's only 10 left in the stack. What we can do is maybe draw her entire stack out. Chip for Imp makes sense. Hayley ability for shenanigans. Two more cash in the deck. Oh, 1 more cash in the deck, so. Okay. I think this is fine. Scavenge the Imp. Ooh. Killing the other pad in the same turn. Harsh. Is that really better than paying 4 for it? Not sure. So once again, remember this imp has 1 fewer token on it. Alright, let's bring the Agroplex online because we need some cards. Those are cards. Well, they're fresh, so... Okay. Okay. Gotta say, I was hoping I had more money than this right now, but we'll make this work. Got an say token, right? So that's a huge leg up. Yeah, like I said, I'm really uncertain with this 4th ice play. This cost us $3. Really, we could have drawn instead. So consider it like, or gotten $1 instead, so call it $4 just to place this here. Yeah, it's tough to say if that's going to pay off in the end. There's still no dagger on the table, so this Ichi is holding up. We might even see Atman 4 come out. Because you can pay for the Atman's strength pump with the cloak dollar, which is kind of a neat interaction that not everyone knows about. Because this credit is for using icebreakers, and the strength boost on Atman is an ability of the Atman, so it does work, which is neat. Okay, RDI has come online. Got a nice 6MU, 7MU rig here. Oh baby, Shaper Big Rig Dreams. Yeah. Meh. Spend all my money or give up 2 accesses. I don't wanna. This puts me on 3 credits when my turn begins. No, I think I have to though. Long term, like she's already spent how many scavenges? 1 scavenge. She's got a lot of money, but the lady tokens may not last forever. So if we can get 5 cards into our hand, or even, yeah, 5 cards is 3 lady tokens. Yeah, I wish I had 5 in my hand right now. But there will be 1 lady token left over. There's just too many agendas in the R&D to not defend this server. Like, supposing we would just let it go, we'd be then doing this next turn and then letting it go again. I guess we could have let it go and then played hedge money. Yeah. I think this is fine. Alright, 2 accesses. Let's pray. Sadly, the NAPD has already scored. There's another one in the deck. But I'm really thinking some sales teams are going to go pretty soon. Precious sales teams. Interns Bites the Dust. That would have been actually an incredible card for us. And there's a sales team as predicted. Well, that was rough. Our start was a little slow, and that's part of what's our issue here. I'm not sure if we can credibly defend the R&D any more than what we already are with this Shigeru. Legwork is a nice touch. I find Shapers that don't play legwork, they end up folding to CI, cerebral imaging. So having the legwork in here really helps that matchup. And, you know, where we're drawing with the Agroplex, there ends up being more in the hand as well. So it's a good card, I think, for Hayley. You'd ideally want like a same old thing as well to play it again, but even the 1 is sometimes surprising and powerful. All right, so Agroplex is going to go. We're on 3. Which is pretty underwhelming. I think we have to money this turn, which is kind of bleh. least this imp is actually gone. And she needs to find another way to get this lady back to go through the Shigaroo again, which now has 5 subs. Gonna be 3 lady tokens. There's probably not a second lady, because if you see Inti, there's usually not only 1 lady in the deck. And they're saving the influence that way. If you have the inf, you can play 2 lady and it's good, but 1 lady, 1 Inti is pretty fine too. Especially if you play against a lot of NBN where they have just wrap around and you just bust through and you're happy. So we've already seen 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, presumably 7. Clone ships, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, so there's not too many surprises coming in. Film critic has arrived. Well, that's probably good. I mean, she can worst case she can pawn it, but the other NAPD is still hanging out. And we are going to try to tax pretty hard and keep there from being too many RDIs coming out. So yeah, I started thinking I should have trusted the Nisei token and the Caprice and not played this ice. We could have been a turn ahead on money. I don't think I budgeted properly for the $9 this would cost us. If we had, instead of playing this, just taken $1, we wouldn't have had this slow, like, credit hedge turn. It would have been able to push the envelope a little faster. As it is, we've lost, like, some time that is going to give her the chance to get this RDI online. Because next turn she can pawn a thing, she can take her cast money with the baby. There's going to be a lot of cash coming out. She can even pawn the lady actually and clone it back. That's probably her cheapest way to get that lady back in play with fresh cards. So that ain't great. As far as playing this to the R&D goes, I think it's not going to make a difference. I think speed is what we need here. So we'll try to luck sack and hit our scavenge here. That's not bad. And just throw away some crap. I mean, maybe some important agendas. Should we keep any ice? No, we'll throw... This is fine. Yeah, we did hit that scavenge, and we hit a daily cast, so that was a good Philotic. Now we need to have our R&D hold out a little while longer, but it is stacked. And we haven't seen our Jackson. If we see a Jackson, we could have put back 3 non-agenda cards and felt quite a bit better about the odds there. But yeah, I think, as I said, this was like possibly a game-losing mistake. Really, if we're going to play this, we should have not res the Shigaroo and just tried for good luck on the R&D. But the issues with the Imp, she can get more fresh accesses. And same with trashing Caprice and Batty from the R&D. Like, our R&D is pretty soft. Oh, no, not that one. Rough. Okay, well, that happened. Didn't think she would run the HQ. Most shapers like don't run HQ enough. when it's actually quite juicy. And like doubly so with the Agroplex out. So that was definitely a strong move that a lot of people wouldn't do in this situation. Like the temptation as a shaper is to go like, I got RDIs, all the R&D all the time. But if there's one agenda in HQ, it's as good as R&D, one access. So it's a little better if you think there's more than one agenda in there. With the Agroplex, that can definitely happen. So we're gonna get fresh cards off of the Agroplex. And our goal is to draw an agenda. All right, so what's our last click here? Did we put a thing out? Playing a thing gives her a card. Is her last card any good? We don't really know. I'm just gonna gain a buck. I think she'll draw the last card if it's any good. Yeah, I think this is going to be a winning situation for us, but it could go either way. Now, is there a third scavenge in her hand? I think the remote busting play is likely to not work. You need to win side twice. So maybe you can go R&D, burn the Nisei token, and then you've already spent 3 ladies on the Ashigaru. Like, if at all possible, you could maybe do like, get the imp out and hit a card out of HQ, and then there's only 2 tokens, or 2 lady tokens needed to break the Ashigaru when it has 4 subs. So I was very careful to have 5 cards on my HQ this turn, so that this is gonna prevent lady from going twice through it. There's all the RDIs. Yeah, she can make a way through the Ashigaru twice. We're hosed. So this tax, we better res this now. This tax could matter for an APD contract. Did she get stuck here? Nope, okay. So she can spend stealth here if she's not planning to run the remote. Which I don't... Well, she could run the remote after the token's gone. It's an interesting line. I think we have to token here. Now I need to make her have another way through this R&D, or she can take her luck on the side game with Caprice. But I think 4 accesses is like a very likely loss for us, where she has $6 and can take an APD contract. Because she has like a 1-pointer wins for her, within the Kronos projects are still hanging out somewhere. If she was only on 5, I would be feeling a little better about letting that go through, but really can't. So as far as this remote goes, it could be an APD or it could be Nisei. An APD she cannot actually steal, but she can put on the Film Critic if she were to beat Caprice. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the line is better to hit the remote here or to try to go to R&D again. Draws her last card. If there's a scavenge... Here we go. Let's do some math here. She needs 1, 2, 5. Oh man. Like right now we're gonna have, I don't want to bid 0, 1. If I spent res this, we'll be at 1. We can only bid 0, 1, and then we can't score the next turn because of only be at $1. So, well, we won't even because we'll get this money when her deck is empty. So it's gonna be a no res here. We're just going to play a single side game for the game. Instead of curiosity, I'm going to see if we would have won or would have lost in the R&D. Yeah, had we not Nisei token, we would have lost because there was the NAPD hanging out. I think it was definitely right to use that token, even though now it makes this a little more scary. Even if she was below $4, I would have let it go through, but I think, yeah, you gotta spend that token. Last lady token. Might be a case for a random bid. Yeah, I have no idea what the bid would be here, so we're going to do a full random on this one. Oh baby, down to the wire. Whew, well that was a bit lucky, but gotta trust the randomization. I'll usually think about the bid in most scenarios, but when it's like a game point situation, there's no later to think about with your money. There's really no way to like trick them into thinking a certain thing is going to happen. So I'll just play random in that kind of situation. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. I'm quite enjoying this deck. Not totally sure on the Agroplex yet, but I definitely like the ID power. So notice it did trigger $1 here, but they can't actually draw, so I don't think I should get $1 from that. I'm not positive. I think it's only if they actually drew a card that you get $1. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching.